There we go. A little difficult to see questions. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. Okay. One down.
Goldfish and chips together as one. New Goldfish Crisps, light and airy, totally irresistible. Taste how Goldfish does chips. Goldfish and chips together.
Come on. There we go. Sure, we'll keep it custom. Okay, so I think I have it set up here. And good morning, TikTok. I have you there. And Instagram, I have you there. So if I have one more cord coming from this area, I think I'm going to have a small breakdown or be concerned that my life is in danger because there are so many cords everywhere, and I am not a very good person for I'm a little accident prone. We'll go with that. Good morning. Happy hump day, bunnies. I'm just finishing the final touches on getting set up to sew. A couple of things I have to do. If you wind bobbins, like on industrial, they tend to want to unwind. So if you take your thread, I'll show you over here, and then just kind of pull it, it won't go anywhere. Thanks. Let me do that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can still see. I'm winding two bobbins because for some reason I'm feeling paranoid about running out, and I hate having to undo my thread just to wind a bobbin. Normally I would do a bobbin dump, but none of the bobbins I have are either enough to warrant using it, or I'm concerned that the color will come through. So I want to make sure that doesn't happen. Sometimes I forget to press the stuff. I'm a little sleepy this morning. We just came back from visiting a friend, and so we were away for a couple of days, and Charlie has abandonment challenges. So the first day or three that we're back, he is. Yes, I was talking about you. Oh, Lord have mercy. Hi, Charlie. How are you? Yeah. Hi. Yes, I'm still here. But he will sleep in the bed in between us because he wants to make sure that we're, still here. YouTube, I will do my best to try to show each step after, because I know a lot of folks were interested on how I do the shaker wallet, which is a wallet with little shaker beads. And I'm doing fruits basket. So I got some little fruit pieces. I thought that would be really cute to put in there. Oh, I'm not gonna lie, I am a sleepy. So I do try to thread my machine when it's off. It's just usually easier because it means that it's in the right position as long as I haven't moved anything. Charlie, my love, my darling, my reason for living, one of them. Um, are you going to sit there all day? Because while I love that you want to visit with me and make sure that I still exist, I swear it's if we're gone all day, as long as we end with sleeping in our bed, he's fine. But I've threaded this machine a million times now, and I just had a moment where I was like, wait, what am I supposed to do? But yeah, so he has to sleep in between us and like on us. At one point, I had to ask my husband to pull the blanket over my shoulder because I had my arm curled under me this way, and he was sleeping right on my elbow and holding on around my wrist. It was adorable, but a little cold because it was like hitting the. Come on, you. Yeah. It was hitting the low 30s last night. I'm still trying to get my body to stop being Floridian. I'm actually usually fine, but or I used to be, but now because of the anemia that has come into my that is cropped up, I feel that cold straight inside my bones. So it's like no matter what I do, I can't get warm because it's not the cold's not out here, it's inside. Very unnerving. Hey, mister, I'm going to turn on the machine, so please make sure you do not put your toes or anything in. Where are you at? There you are. Okay. This way, when I turn on my machine, I hold my thread. And then I can pull up my bobbin thread because my machine automatically kicks down one. All right. Okay. Y'all can help me pick out. Thank you, Melissa. Appreciate that. Now I have to pick out a charm. Or charm. I have to pick out zipper pull. I don't know why this one's in here. That's gold finish. I know I've pulled out this zipper pull like every time and been like, why is that in there? And then I'm going to put it right back in here and then start the saga all over again. So everybody here. Yay. Did I take my pills? Yes. The only way I know what day it is if I took my pills. Okay, so I definitely don't want those. Those are Mickey heads. I'm thinking something with the flowers because that's a very reoccurring theme in Fruits Basket. This is... Now, normally I would not use fabric on these wallets. I like to use vinyl. I'll show you too. Yeah, how cute they are. They're so adorable. Got to do the world tour. Normally I don't use fabric, but I had some strikes come in that I really wanted to do a Pokemon one. And I decided that I've got some iron-on, some fusible vinyl. And because this doesn't turn out, it wouldn't have a ton of wrinkles. Well, maybe I'll put the So Majestic one inside for her. That would be cute. Well, the problem is that, or the thing was, suddenly my brain went, hey, you know what? And I was like, shut up, brain. No, I don't know what. Why don't you leave me alone? Why don't you just let me do the project the way I want to do it? And it's like, no. Listen, I got an idea. And I'm like, oh, my Lord. Okay, fine. What's your idea, head? It's like, why don't you buy some of those little clay sprinkles, these, and make it a shaker wallet? You're already putting vinyl over it. Now you can just use regular vinyl. And I'm like, that is an amazing idea. But then the due date for the strikes got moved up. And I'm like, well, I can't not do it, though. Let me see. Okay, so I have a couple of choices. I'm trying to decide. Because I'm not above mixing fandoms if I think they'll work together. My own purse has Pocky, pink Pocky, like snacks on it. And then I use my Sakura sprinkles, which is the soot sprites with Sakura flowers. And it works out really well. The colors match so nicely. So I'm not, excuse me, I'm not above using other fandoms with this. So what I'm trying to decide is, do I want to do that? Oh my Lord, come on, mute. Because I have, wow, all of these pulls just about are from Bedazzled. I don't think I like that one. And I don't know about that one. But so what I'm trying to decide is, and this one, oh, see, I kind of really want to use this one. So I've got this one. It's Hello Kitty. Little Sanrio action. She's in a little kimono. I think that would be really cute. And I know I've got a matching, and then I've got, I want to say Melody. That one, Melody. I don't know all of them. I only know the ones that I grew up with, which were Karopi and Batsmaru and Kitty, of course. No, I think that's Melody. I try to keep up, but then something new and shiny distracts me, and I end up moving on to that. I think I definitely want to do the kimono kitty on the outside. And I think I'm going to do these little butterflies on the inside, because you have to really think about what kind of pool is going inside, because the wallet closes pretty tight. But see, they're just little butterflies. Little butterflies. I like them. They're cute. Yeah. I was thinking of butterflies as well. Oh, I love these little tiny bags so much. I'll have to send them back to. But these are from Bedazzled. Bedazzled Supplies. I absolutely adore any hardware I get from her. Mostly I get zipper pulls, because she always has such cute ones. She did these flower sets that just went so well with just about every bag that I've ever put them on. Okay, so see, like there's one of the wine-esque flowers. I need to figure out my lighting better. I'll be experimenting more with that coming Saturday probably. But her quality is so phenomenal. I get my zipper my zipper ends, and when I do strap ends, like if somebody requests it for their bag. If there's, hi, you okay? You going down for a little bit? Okay, bye. Like, don't be afraid to let somebody that one, to want to personalize their bag more. Just let them know that some things will come at an extra cost. Like if they ask for they ask for extra pockets. It depends. They really do. Yes, they have really nice prices. Her prices are very good. And I think it's because of the bulk that she buys them in. Like I got these. I am sometimes one of her strike artists. And she'll just always, it's lovely because she just like pops up in my messages and she's like, hey, I'm sending you some stuff. I'm like, oh, goody. I'm never upset about that at all. Like this is the white rabbit. Little white rabbit. And then I still have a Cheshire. But and I always end up just like telling her, hang on. I'm like, hang on, I'm going to put an order in then. so I can just pay for shipping with everything. So I think that's going to do for those. Everything's set up over there. So I think we can get started. I like trying to have everything together so I don't forget anything. Sometimes the more I've done a wallet, the more I have to be careful that I don't get ahead of myself. I said on a previous video that that's one of the reasons why I mark my seams, is it gives me a chance to kind of recenter and not keep going, well, the next step and the next step and the next step. So if I'm confident, that's great. But if I'm overdoing it, so there's the fabric. All right. And I try to clip things together at the table. Normally, before I even begin sewing, I have myself set up to get everything prepped because it does make this go faster. But I ran out of time yesterday to be able to. Oh my Lord, my sinuses. This is what happens when I go out of the city for more than a day. Okay. Alrighty, so for the body, I have 2 rough cuts. If you're in, oh, thank you. At least y'all typed it. When I watch lives and somebody sneezes, I just go, bless you. Actually, it's when anything, watching any YouTube video, especially with Lauren, I just automatically go, bless you. I do not know you. So for the body, I put it together, especially with, I use a lot of directional fabrics. So I always want to make sure that everything's going to sit the way I want it. This is technically a non-directional because they are just all willy-nilly all over the place. Yeah, that's where I'm going to put it. Where's my tape? I'm trying not to shake y'all too much. Too long. So what I do is I cut out 2 pieces of what I'm going to use for my exterior. That's my nameplate, or my nameplate backing. It just helps to have it so that I can, it just gives a little bit of extra backing on the nameplate. And it's pretty and extra. That's kind of mean. So for this, I usually have the 2 cuts and then my other cut of vinyl. And that'll be where they're the bottom of it. Okay. With that, I'm not giving out any measurements. I already talked to Sue in charge. Just woke up. What are you making? I'm making a classic zip around wallet, but I'm going to make it a shaker wallet. So it'll have these little beads in it. Little, these are little fruit pieces. They're so cute. I almost got a set that had paws and fruit and little animal heads. And I'm like, that might be a bit much. It was also like 4 times the cost for, it was 3 times the cost from this bottle to little tiny bottles because it was a UV resin thing. But I'm not giving any, there's the word, measurements. I'll give you my seam allowance. That's fine. It's going to be a lot of fun, I promise. So you can get this hack measurement in her group. So in the Maggy55 group. So I've got my 2 fabric and then I've got 2 vinyl pieces, just clear vinyl. I don't really know what thickness this is. I recommend if you're going to do a shaker wallet, do not do it with vinyl as this background piece. Use fabric. Oh, I might still have some of that. I don't know. I had found this one fabric that was chickens doing yoga. I called it Downward Cluck. I might still have some of that. I know I can get my hands on it again because I think I got it from Spoon Flour. Well, this is fabric. This is a thin cotton woven. And that's why I'm using a thin cotton woven. As you can see, I didn't even interface it all the way to the end, mainly because I cut mine a little bit longer anyways, and I didn't want to have to deal with that. So fun time comes because I had to, the first shaker wallet I did, that was fun because I started sewing it together and I was like, oh wait, I've got to put the plastic in there first. Doggone it. So this is how I figured out how to do, or how I do my shaker wallet. This is also a way for me to use my fabrics for these wallets because I won't use just fabric on them. You touch them too much. No, that's SoFuse. It's their lightweight. I have SoFuse and SoFuse Plus. I bought a giant roll, and since I've moved to mostly vinyl, I don't generally use it that much. Oh, that might actually be nice. So this is a glitter vinyl. So it's probably going to stick and not move as much, which is an advantage. So if you cut anything straight, make sure that this vinyl middle piece is cut really nice and straight, because that's going to be how your design shifts. I took her craft text piece for the outside, the exterior craft text that you're going to fold over, and I traced half of that onto a page protector, and that is how I use, and that's what I use to kind of fussy cut, because sometimes you want to fussy cut. Like this one, I wanted to make sure Momoji, he's so cute, is kind of dead center. And always remember to think about your seam allowances too when you fussy cut. So my seam allowance choice is 1/4 of an inch. And I'm using very bright pink thread, which is Tech 70 thread. I'm hoping to get enough YouTube subscribers so that I can do lives on my phone as well. And so I can save the recordings. But you okay there, Tiberius? That's a very crooked looking line, friend. What in the world is going on there? Huh. Let's see how much that affects it. Because sometimes you can just fold over and then adjust your fold over. Well, that'll be fine. That's just so weird. So I have the fabric, the clear vinyl, and then the middle vinyl. I'm going to fold down and I'm going to butterfly this open, putting vinyl on one side and the fabric and clear vinyl on the other, which can be a little challenging. That was so weird. I don't know why it's so like that. You just got oiled and cleaned and everything. what to do with you. Okay. And if you can't hear me over the music, I've got the music on soft, I think. It's soft enough, I hope. But we shall see. Just let me know. Okay, that is actually straight. Just kind of like, is the YouTube streaming? Right now, it's not the best view because I have to stream from my computer. I'll figure something out. So I'm top stitching that butterfly seam open. The seam roller helps a lot to kind of get it thinking about where you want it to be. Now, if you're still trying to practice getting your top stitching to look good, you do not want to use bright neon pink thread on a fabric with a black background. Just so you know. I have rough days where I'm like, okay, that top stitching is awful, but nope, that's good. Okay, so I have that first part of it, and this is still separate. Okay, so now what we're going to do, that away. I'm positioning. Yeah. So I'm positioning the clear vinyl first because it's okay if it's not perfectly straight, the clear vinyl, because everything's going to get trimmed, and you'll see that in a few moments. Okay, so clear vinyl attached. Morning, Cynthia. I have to already get my crackers. I had a whole muffin, man. And yeah, there is an advantage and disadvantage to the fact that my pink sparkle vinyl is sticking to the clear vinyl because it means it's not going to move. However, let's see. I'm not quite sure why the other side did that. In fact, I will have to move YouTube because I have it sitting on the pull-out drawer of my I don't know why words are hard because I haven't gotten through my coffee yet. I have it sitting on the pull-out drawer for my heat press. Oh, y'all are so sweet. I really appreciate. Still trying to deal with that. So again, I've got that side sewn on, and yes, it does not look like my stitches decided to leap up. You know, when you're young and you see a curb and for some reason you think it's a great idea to hop up there, and then you get yelled at by your mom because she's like, you're gonna injure yourself. And you're like, no, Mom, I'm fine. Jump up on a curb. I mean, in my case, it was a valid concern. I mean, at one point, I literally did jump on the curb, miss just enough slid down and broke my ankle. So anytime she was telling me not to like jump up and do something because I'll hurt myself, it really, there was good money could have been made betting that was going to happen, because it probably would have. So I've butterflied the seams open, or I've pressed them open with my little roller. I love my little roller, but I'm thinking of getting like a heavier one, like a nice metal one. I think I'll get to see my meat tenderizer. I have one of those stainless steel meat tenderizers that I keep in here because it's great for punching down seams. There we go. Okay. So one side of this I am going to seal off and not put shaker beads in it. That's pretty much going to be the side that I'm wanting to be, the front. I'm just trying to decide if I want the shaker beads to be in the side that I've chosen as the front, or if I just want to put my nameplate on that side. Because I will say my first one that I did, I may have gone a little overboard on how many little sprinkles I put in. Go. So, and there we go. Ta-da! So this is the same steps that I use to do all of my pieces anyways. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mark my center. It's around you there. Okay. Now it is a little bit more difficult to mark centers with two pieces like this, because you don't want to really crease the clear vinyl too much. But marking the center of both means that you'll be able to place it well without it going all over the place. And my I use the Mormino ruler. It's the perfect size for cutting out these pieces. And like I said, I'm not giving any measurements. I did let Sue know that I wasn't going to be giving any measurements on this. The creator of Maggy55 patterns. And that is something that I do make sure to do anyways. Oh, yeah, because I can probably get one of those off of Amazon or something. Got my centers marked. My centers marked are also, marking my centers is also for when I put on the interface. All right, YouTube, you are moving for a moment, so hang on. Charlie's going to be so upset. There we go. This is why I want to get enough subscribers so that I don't have to use my laptop. All right. Oops. You go under there because we have a couple of different we have a couple of different interfacings to put on here. So okay, so first things first, so I don't forget. So I think I do want to put my name tag on this side. I think that's where I want to put my tag at. So I have to remember that. And that way the shakers are on the side that I've kind of not fussy cut as much. I wanted to make sure Momoji was like right here. He is the sweetest. Oh, yay, my sheep is on there too. Well, I love Fruits Basket even more because I'm a sheep and my husband's a tiger. And look at that. They're holding a little stuffed version of each other. It's the cutest thing. I love it so much. Okay. I'm good. I'm sorry. It's just too much sometimes. I'm sorry if I'm shaking y'all. So I don't know if I'm going to have a chance to do the whole thing today or this morning. I am thinking of coming back on later. I have my nail appointment today, so we'll see how well that goes. I don't want to use that. Okay. I'm marking my centers so that I have a way, because I rough cut this, if I don't have my centers, I don't have a way to really be sure that I'm placing it in the center of the fabric, and that can affect, come on you, that can affect how it ends up sitting. So the other thing we do, where are you at? There we are. Oh, I'm not writing those. Hang on just a second. Madre de Dios, where are you at? This one. Oh, well, I can actually show you. So the way I fussy cut, I had said that what I do is I take, don't want to put that there. That will melt. That's not the right one. Forgive. Oh, I need to take them out anyway. I don't know what. Doggone it. Are you cereal? Okay. Dropping things all over the place. So I take the exterior piece B. I'm not showing you the other side of it because it's got some notes on it. And I traced that onto a page protector, which is what I put everything in. And then I marked the center. And this way, what I can do is I can put this on. I mean, maybe you can see it better there. It's kind of hard to see. I'm so sorry. I need to put it in black anyways. But then I put this down in the space, and I'll go and I'll put little marks on the fabric. And and that lets me fussy cut it. The one piece curtain, it's actually a body pillow. If I don't have something over that window, it gets really bright in here. But the other problem was when I was cutting and sewing at night a lot, I kept getting creeped out by just the outside darkness. How did you make templates? These are, so this is brown cardstock. I printed, that one doesn't have a number. So I printed the piece onto it, which is a slight pain of the butt because I have to, with my printer, I have to feed it one at a time. And then I have a laminator. I picked it up off of Amazon for like $20. And it is one of my favorite things to have because now I can laminate stuff. I hear you over there. I see that you're done. Thank you. It's a very polite beep. I will say that. Let me see. Oh, with the page protector, I use the exterior piece because this is what you're folding everything around. This is the stabilizer you're going to to fold your stuff around. So you'll see that in a moment. So that gives me an idea of where, I don't know why I'm putting that up just yet. It gives me an idea of where everything is going to go. What are you? You are not useful. Okay, so I use headliner foam for yes, Bo, the video on Instagram will be, I always post it as a quote unquote reel. It is. You haven't really missed a whole lot, I will say. So I've sewn these pieces together at 1/4 inch. The measurements for this are in her yeah, I can probably make a video of that, Cynthia. I don't see why not. And this is fabric as well as the clear vinyl. So I haven't gotten too far. This is the headliner foam. What I do is I trace, get things to cooperate with me over here. So I take my B piece first. I think I'm going to go ahead and use this because I'm using fabric. I don't want it to show up. I'm going to line up my centers, all of them, while the light drives me bonkers because it's, is that it? I'll pick a side here. If you have to pick a center, pick the one that you did on your vinyl piece. Like if your centers aren't lining up just right, it's better to have it lined up evenly along your the middle of the wallet where the accent piece is. There's the word I was looking for like 5 minutes ago, accent piece. The measurements for how to do this hack with the 3 pieces is in the Maggy55 group because you still need these. So I do that one. Where did my other piece go? It's under it, of course. Then I take piece D, which is the foam. Come on, Flex. I'm not sure, actually. I don't think I've worked with that one. With the Flex foam should be okay because it's going to depend on how puffy you want it. I tried fleece. I didn't like it. It didn't feel, it's going to sound weird. It didn't feel luxurious like what foam does. But I don't know if the foam that she suggests in the pattern, because I don't use the craft text either. I'm tracing the lines, the sidelines of my foam piece down there. So now I have all those lines. That light flickering will stop once I turn off my heat press. The heat press and the lamp do not get along. So my lamp complains the whole time. Oh, my machine is a new Tech GS0303. And my thread is Tex70. The thread I'm using I got from Wawac. So, which I highly recommend. Wawac, they're amazing. They're so quick on shipping too. Crazy how quick they are. I get all my sticky tape just about from them. So you can glue this down. I prefer to just do a bit of tape, and that's mainly just to hold it in position so that it doesn't go anywhere. But I do a circle on the outside of it, but I keep about 1/4 to 1/2 of an inch away from, where are you at? There you are. From the edge, because I'm trying not to sew through, especially this tape. This tape is some tape I got at an Amazon return store. It was 50 cents for 3 rolls. And I'm like, okay. Of course, it's still in the package. I bought some hardware like a year ago because I bought Lynn's the one wallet with the bar clasp, and it was okay. I like it. I think it's a super cute purse. It's a little fiddly sometimes, but then Sue just came out with this new wallet, and I'm like, oh my god, I get to use this hardware. I'm so happy about it. It feels silly to be happy about being able to finally use some hardware. I do cut my foam just a smidge shorter than the pattern because I want to make sure that it's not pushing too far out. So I've just taped down the foam. And then what I'm going to do is I'm using, I was trying this out and I don't mind it at all. It gives it kind of a softer, fluffier feeling. I don't know. It's the difference between the couch cushion you sit on and the couch cushion you put your back against. The couch cushion you sit on is definitely the Decoville Heavy and most likely the Craft Tex. And this is more the couch cushion that you sit that's behind your back. It's usually a little softer. It is a little bit of a pain in the butt to put on this. Also, by the way, cutting out your stabilizers, this stabilizer and your inner stabilizer, you want to make sure that if you do anything else, that this is what you're cutting out really well, because this is going to be the shape. What I do is when I cut out straight lines on the sides, and then I fold it in half and I cut the curves out at the same time. And then I even run my fingers over to make sure that that feels nice and even. I should buy this wallet a drink by the time I'm halfway done with it. This is Pellon, I want to say 71F. Yes, 70 Pellon, Peltex. 70 has no glue. 71 has one side and 72 has both sides. I don't recommend both sides for this wallet, at least. If you're doing a quilted bag and you're wanting to quilt the inside as well as the out, and it's a bound bag, 72 is a good idea. Okay, so I'm going to press this real quick. I really should keep some heat tape in here because I'm very particular about where this presses. Now you want to make sure, again, I've got plastic on here. Pelted. So it's Peltex. Yes, Pellon Peltex. Pellon is the brand. I also use Decoville Heavy. I like that a lot as well. The reason I even tried Decoville Heavy instead of the Craft Tex first was because I had a whole bolt of it and I'd been slowly going through it, like very slowly. Because with Decoville Heavy, most of the time you only use it for the bottom of a bag. I love Decoville Light. I haven't tried this with Decoville Light. Let me see if this actually stuck, because sometimes it yeah, it needs one more press. All right, you stick. It doesn't have to stick perfectly because you're going to be pulling everything over, but it does help a lot. Okay, so that's good. And I have an idea. So last time I gotta trace it out and cut it too. The first one I did, I'm trying to make sure that the no, don't cool yet, don't cool yet. Come on, come on, come on. Yeah. Now, when you are pressing this, you do want to make sure that when you take it out before it gets really cool, that you're kind of smoothing, not with a hard press, but just kind of smooth things away a little bit. I might end up doing glue down the middle on the next time. But I like the headliner because I can get it at 54 inches. A yard is 54 inches wide. So I feel I'm getting more out of it than the other stuff. And it's usually between 15 and 20, depending on where you get it. And like if you get it at Joann's, obviously, wait for a coupon. 71F. Ooh, yeah, 71F does work nicely. 2 layers. I might have to try that because I am now I'm low on Decoville Heavy because I've been like, let's make all the wallets. And I just like, I don't know what to do with my life. So now, Madre de Dios, I don't know what I'm doing with my life right now. Where are you? No. You're over there. Oh, but now I can move the computer back. Okay. Boop. All right. So we turn that off because I don't need that anymore. Come with me, YouTube. Boop. You get to go back over here. There we go. Okay. The next thing I do, because now we have a nice brick to work from. And you probably could just go around and just kind of clip the edges the way, it's a lot like with the instructions, the way the interior is done. Sometimes I like to kind of press down. The 71F is instead of the Craft Tex. So what I like to do sometimes is I start to kind of bend down the sides a little bit just so I can see how it's going to look. Oh, and it's going to be so cute. Oh, God, it's going to be so cute. All right. First, let's put my tag. Yeah, that'll work. I try to figure out which step isn't going to impede other steps, but will allow me to remember to do that step. Like putting my tag down. Now, I could put it in the middle, but I've got Momoji, and I'm going to have shaker charms on the other side. So I don't want to create more nonsense. That's the other reason sometimes I heard you. I heard a beat. I have a bolt of some foam. I mean, the best way to figure out if you like how a stabilizer works is to use it. I know a lot of folks that swear the Craft Text is the only thing they will ever use. Good on you. I don't have any. I decided that when I was going to try this wallet out, that I just was going to use what I had in house, because if I didn't like how the construction worked and I wasn't going to make it again, I didn't want to be stuck with a bolt of Craft Text, because the best way to buy Craft Text is bolt wise usually. Plus it does let other folks who don't want to deal with the Craft Text as well know that there are alternatives. All right, so I'm going to stick it right here because it'll be far enough away. So I want to make sure that it's far enough away from the edge. Yeah, so see, so I'll sew that down. Okay, where are my chips? Good God. Did I leave my chips in the freaking kitchen? Ah, here I thought I was so prepared. I forgot my chips in the kitchen. When we travel, we don't like to stop a lot, except to like go to the bathroom and that. So we usually have snacks in the car. Hey, sweetie. morning, Kit. Let's see. Yes, ultra foam. Sorry about. I just saw that. I'm still keeping an eye on 3 different devices is a lot sometimes. Okay, so I've got everything fused. Normally, I think I do go ahead and trace as well this. Okay, so yes, that is what I do. I am not smart sometimes. If I get everything matching up, then it'll be fine. All right, yeah, normally I do all the tracing at once so that everything is in the right spot. And that'll be fine. We'll just do that. It's not as a big deal as long as you have enough to fold over. Me, I just like to get rid of all the extra so that I know what I'm working with. I managed to watch all 3 troll movies recently, and number 3 like probably more times than I should admit. Because your outer cut, this outer cut for A is just kind of a rough cut for going around it. So it's not as big of a deal. It's a lot of my own need for that level. And I hate when I get down like what I want to do, how I want it to. Really? It's going to be like that, huh? And then I go, oh, I'm going to do it differently this time, apparently. Randomly. I love taking care of the straight cuts first. Put my ruler backwards. Oh, yes. Normally I am on Wednesdays and Saturdays. This last Saturday, I was out of town visiting some friends. We didn't go too far. Pretty much was still here in Georgia, but it was a last minute invite. We went to see some friends who also had similar birthdays to mine, and they're like, what'd you do for your birthday? I'm like, got my nails done, did a live, and slept. And I got called old. And they said, first of all, screw you. Don't judge my joy. Okay. Second of all, I am old. And third of all, unfortunately, I've been old for longer than I should have. This is how I would probably have celebrated my birthday a lot when I was younger anyways, if I was allowed to. So they're like, well, just come up and see us and have some cake. I was like, listen, say less. You didn't even have to say nothing about anybody's birthday. You said cake. I'm fine. I'm there. Does not take much for me to want to go to a party. And then I got there and I found out they had cats. And I was like, okay, well, all you had to say was cake and cats, and I'm there. So I wasn't able to do my Saturday. I was like, where was I going with this? I had a reason for talking about cats and cake. I don't know if you ever really need a reason to talk about cats and cake. I don't anyways. But yes, Wednesdays and Saturdays have seemed to be a nice break for me. It makes me kind of slow down and think about what I'm doing and get everything situated. Did I miss a curve? I missed the curve. All right, so now I have it cut out. So this is what you would end up with just one whole piece if you were doing the cats and cake. I am very well seasoned. It has been quite a life. When I turned 40, people are like, "Oh, how bad do you feel about being 40?" I'm like, "I feel great." Okay, because I'm still alive. Nobody is more surprised that I have managed not to accidentally unalive myself than me. If you were going by just the instructions, this is what you have. This is what you'll end up with the back. I like it in two pieces because it does open up a lot of opportunity for fabrics and not having something upside down. So real quick, I am going to sew down my label here and get that situated. But I take my stitch length down to like a 2.5 for this because it lets me go around the tiny curves. This is like one of the very few places that you will see me not backstitch. There we go. Quick shuffling around. Again, if you're still kind of working on your where that landed, your top stitch game, do not choose a bright contrasting color. Oh, Lord have mercy, what happened back here? All right, well, first let's take care of this one. Sorry, I've got a large loop. I know why I have a large loop, because Tiberius is sometimes a brat about pulling a needle up. Good news is it doesn't really matter because it's not a construction stitch. Not really, but yeah, see. And I like putting on this. There we go. I like putting these on after because, as you can see, it's got that nice little puffiness to it. I really like how the vinyl overlay of this makes it look like shiny. It's so shiny. Size needle works good with it. The needle size I use is I've got the Schmitz. Those are 19. I've tried 20s and they still work nicely with the thread. It's just a slightly larger hole, and I found that it didn't add or take away from anything. So there was no need to keep going up. I had gotten them as a sample size. I was like, okay, sure, I'll try them. Always up for new things. Come here, you. See, now I want cake. Actually, and my friends even surprised me because Sam's has this cookie cake. I have an obsession with cookie cakes. It's I blame my parents. Good morning, Shay. I am doing a hang on. Okay, there we go. Good morning, Shay. I am doing the classic zip around wallet, but we're going to make it a shaker. It's gonna be fun. I love a cookie cake. It's my mom's fault because though they were working parents, though they were always working, I will say on my birthday, I always knew that I was loved and taken care of. because I was lucky enough to have a mom who would take a few minutes to make sure that when I got home from school, on the kitchen table was a few presents and a couple of balloons, a card, and a cookie cake. And on the back of the card, it always said, please share with your brothers. Because there's a reason I am diabetic. I would probably have put that cookie cake on my stomach like an otter and just eaten it all by myself. I'm not ashamed to say that I most likely have done that at least twice in my adult life. Again, there's a reason I'm diabetic. It is because I made some poor food choices and genetics. But Sam's has this giant, like sheet cake size cookie cake. And I almost fainted the first time I saw it when I realized it wasn't just a cookie cake. It was a double layer cookie cake with frosting in the middle. It was a cookie sandwich cake. Oh man, I felt the flutter in my heart, like, oh dear Lord. And my husband's like, no, baby, we can't buy this. I'm like, but it's a cookie cake. He's like, I know, honey, but it'll go bad before we can finish it. And I looked up at him, and he's like, before we're supposed to finish it? I'm like, ah. All right. I choose my sugars wisely most of the time. But my friends got me the cookie cake because I had talked about it before to them. And I think we only got halfway through that thing. Oh, nice. Yes. This is, and thank you, by the way. I kept trying to tell you that I got the message. For some reason, it wasn't letting me, but I don't know why it chose to change studios to studies. So I did get that fixed, and I am making a shaker. I'm making a shaker wallet right now. So this currently has clear plastic on it with the my phone doesn't always let it adhere properly. So, and on this side, where are you at? Dang, clear vinyl. And on this side, it'll have shaker pieces in it. I know, it's so cute. I cannot. It's so adorable. So the last time I did this, I basted around. And that worked out great till I had to do the corners. When I had to do the corners, because so you have to clip little triangles, it clipped the basting stitches. So I had an idea at 6:00 this morning when I was dropping my husband off. I'm like, oh, I can just glue it and that should keep it in place. Oh, very cool. I don't know. I've never worked with the blocking fabric. I don't know if it's necessary, but at the same time, why not put an extra bit of safety in something? Gauges. I'm trying to remember because I don't think, let me see real quick if it says on the thing. It's the blue one, I guess I could say. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to say on the packing paper. I do know that it's the one that has the blue coloring. So I don't know, that might help, but it's also whatever gauge you're comfortable with. It's not like heavy. See, it's easy to fold in half and it's sort of thin, but it's not like, You know, there's that gauge that when it heats up, you feel like if you look at it wrong, it's just going to melt in your hands. This does have a little bit more stability to it. With the shaker though, I really wouldn't recommend using vinyl and then the clear vinyl over, because remember, you have to fold this over and then sew all of that. The pattern, I'm so scared. Oh, you can do it. I promise. Listen, this is one of those patterns that you look at it and you're like, no, there is no way that is going to ever, you know, cross my sewing machine. I want, it's that dream pattern that you're like, one day, maybe one day. Uh, but I do promise that if you follow her videos, and if you have any trouble, the group, her Facebook group is amazing for this. The construction sounds like a Schoolhouse Rock song, are amazing. And you really get to a point. You really get to a point that even just getting the first step done of adding the zipper on, the instructions give you this chance to have a little bit of a preview of what it's going to look like. I really just, I do very much enjoy making this pattern. It brings me a lot of joy to make this pattern. And every time I go to make it, halfway through, I'm like, once you get to the zipper, you're like, wait, I'm almost done. When did this happen? Now, she does use a lot of glue and a lot of tape. So you want to make sure that whatever you're using, there's my template, that you look at your materials. If you're on a domestic, it is very domestic friendly with the right materials. See, and that's my problem. The pattern is the classic zip around wallet from Maggy55 patterns. That's why I was hesitant to use craft paper, because I'm not a doom seeker, but I'm a doom assumer. And I'm always so sure that once somebody buys something, or once I take it out into the real world, it's going to fall apart, or it's going to die, or it's going to get ruined in some way. Yes, a lot of times I do make matching bags with the wallets. I haven't been doing as much of that because, like last year, I don't know what got into my head. Christmas 2022, I was like, hey, I'm going to cut out 65 NCWs. And I mean, I got them all done. It was a pain in the butt. It was a lot of wallets. So I'm gonna go ahead and baste around this so it's a little bit easier to keep it. Oh, I'm also going to make sure to change my stitch length, which is good that I remembered to do that. So sometimes I didn't remember what I was making. My con prep for Dragon Con is pretty much started. So I'm trying to find different patterns for different things. With the Craft Tex, I don't know how water resistant it is. And yeah, and that wasn't all the wallets I made last year either. I think the final number for last year's NCWs before Dragon Con was like 275 or something like that, because some of them were orders and some of them were strikes. But it's why I do batch cutting with the interfacing most of the time. With this, I just use, I just don't know how how water resistant Craft Tex is. It seems like it wouldn't be, but I'm not 100% sure because, like I said, I haven't really used it yet, if at all. I have what works for me, so at this point, it seems silly to do otherwise. So I did a quick baste. I think that's why I like the Decoville Light and the Peltex 71, because I can adhere it to the back and not feel like I'm fighting so much with other glue. I think I like the Decoville a little bit better for adherence, but I do like how soft everything feels with the Decoville. Morning, Tiffany. The sewing machine is a new Tech GS0303. So what I'm using for my outside is I use headliner foam instead of the foam that she suggested. This is Peltex 71F or Decoville Heavy. And then for the innards of it, I actually use Pellon 809. I like how it folds and keeps a nice crisp corner, especially if you're not top stitching the card slots. Okay, here comes the fun part. Where you at, good scissors? Pretty scissors. There you are. These have a nice clip to them that really go through. So what I'm doing now is, as I said, so I basted it on, but I'm going to end up cutting the stitches. So I glued my fabric to the... Oh, that sounds like a good combination. I haven't tried the self-adhesive foam yet from them. I'm always concerned about if it's going to gum up the needle or not. Because with the foam, you do still sew a little bit through it. Even as much out of the seam allowance as it is. I do take my time a little bit more with these cuts, especially with the fabric, because you don't want that fabric and that to... So I'm just cutting out little triangles. I'm making the classic zip around wallet from Maggy55 patterns. I am suddenly dreaming of dumplings. What is going on with my stomach today? I almost stopped to get a waffle from Waffle House. I might have to run and get my bleeding crackers. I'll have some Triscuits. Now, this is a tedious part of it. I will definitely say it, and I have tried. I will say I have tried to make this go a little bit faster. Tried to make it a little bit easier. My grandpa taught me to do everything the written way once. He was usually talking about recipes, though. You do it the right way, or well, the way the person wrote it once. Then if you find different ways to do it, or you find quicker ways, then there's nothing wrong with that, because you took a moment to respect the writer of the, in that case, recipe. in this case, pattern. I always try to do the pattern the way it's written. There are only a few things that I don't go by written, and that's usually the zipper pocket. I usually do it my way, which is with a zipper overlay. All right. Yeah, that did work out much better. Okay, good. So I do recommend gluing down your corners a little bit. These I got, the clay sprinkles I got from Michael's. Starting in just a moment. Oh yeah, definitely. Okay. Yeah, biscuits sound really good too. That is actually a giant body pillow case that I got at a Amazon return store for like 50 cents. I think that was $1, but I've got a bunch of them because I'm too lazy to go buy real curtains apparently. Some did get stuck on this issue. So okay. So it looks like with the self-adhesive stuff like that it's pretty much just you got to try it, which I keep going, I'm going to order some of that. And then something runs out, like I need hardware or I need breakfast or something like that. Speaking of, hang on a moment. All right. I hear you. Hang on. What are you doing? I've heard a certain kitty just gets in my little red panda bowl. Little red panda bowl. Okay. Someone told me about a small business that does things like this too, called Glitter Sheet. So I did look them up, and they have some super cute ones. They've even got like little clouds and stuff like that, and sports themed ones. Okay. So I once again forgot. So I've got everything basted on. Yeah, it's not like, oh, I don't know if I have fabric to spare. I have fabric to spare. It really depends. Most of the time, I've worked with Beauty and Geeks, Zombie Bunny, Cosmic Fabric Creations, and Night Till Dawn. And Backstitch. I have worked with all their vinyls, and I have not had any issues. Oh, and Impish Geek for her solids. I've got some Fox fabrics too from or vinyl that I got from So Magical. We'll be able to go to Orlando So Magical. Sadly, I won't be able to go to the other one because I will be at Dragon Con. I think I needed to cut that big of a hole. Okay. So I just kind of undid some of the stitches right there, because you cannot fold over until you put your shaker clays in. Zombie Bunny, Beauty and Geek, Cosmic Fabric Creations, Backstitch. Who else? Night Till Dawn. It's like Knight, like, Knighted Soldier. And Impish Creations. Impish Designs. All right. All right. All right. So, that little hole, we're going to try not to go overboard this time. And I will say a little goes a long way. Some of them are sticking to the vinyl. Come on, pull it down. Okay, so okay, little fruits in there. I'm trying to decide if I want more, but I think that's going to be enough, actually. Any more, and it gets a little bit cumbersome. 1 to sew and 2 to actually do this. Okay. Now what I do is I get out 1/4-inch tape. Here we are. And I go all the way around. Actually, hang on. I'm gonna close that hole up. Because I'm just worried that I'm gonna turn it upside down and it'll be sprinkles everywhere. Oh, thank you. Actually, today is Nail Wednesday. It's one of the times when I take it's the day that I go get my nails done. They find it funny at the salon I get my nails done because they know I'm going to be in like clockwork every 2 weeks, because she knows that once my nail bed starts to show a little bit, it bothers me. Yeah, if you look up those places on Facebook, you'll find all their groups. I need to make a link. So I'm going all the way around. Which can be a little tricky because I'm trying to get the edge of the points of the. Come on, you. There we go. Usually I do all of this prep work at my cutting table, and I do all of it at once. Like, I'll have everything ready to go before I even sew the zipper. And that actually will help a lot. I'll cut out another one of these and I'll set it up to where y'all can see all the prep work I do before I even get to the machine. I will say that once I get all the prep work done, that it's usually about 45 minutes to an hour tops for me to do these wallets, to get them on. Oh, thank you. I'm hoping I sent an idea, but it was kind of last minute. But I found a really cute Peeps design, like the marshmallow Peeps, that just looks so cute that I'm like, I really want all these Peeps on my nails. But she's really, really good at taking an idea and kind of maneuvering it within her skill set as well as within what she thinks she wants to do as an artist. So, yep, I've got all the tape around. I tape here, not on here. And that's what helps my corners to stay down a little bit better. Oh, y'all get to see me nitpick the ever-loving crap out of my corners. Come on. But I use one piece of tape and then go through and clip so that it, oh, no, not that one. There we go. So that I can do the straight edge, the straight lines first, and then do my corners. Now, it means you're going to have extra tape on those little corner pieces, but it will be useful, I promise. All right, where are you? Here we go. So two tools that are great to use for this, a bone folder and the screwdriver. This one's from Lauren Mormino. I absolutely adore it. It's so useful. I don't even know if I've used it as a screwdriver yet. No lie, I might have actually used it once to stir my coffee. Mainly because I thought I was grabbing my stirring chopstick, and that's what ended up in the cup. I'm like, all right, if I make it through tonight, then I'll be fine. Okay. Also, when you're pulling down, don't yank it over. If you're gentle, right now, yep, I am live on all of them. We'll see how well this goes with the live on YouTube, because it's not a great position. It's because I have to use my laptop for it. I've got a smaller laptop I might be able to use next time. But I don't like yank it over this. I kind of just like gently I gently push it over, because I did find that my first few were coming up a little shorter, and I realized it's because I'm really pulling it over that. So sometimes what helps too is I'll put my finger in the middle of it and then push up and then over. And what are you doing, little thread? What's that? You're getting clipped and tossed? Go on a little adventure. There you go. You don't have to go in the trash can, but you can't stay here. Go. Well, I found when I was putting in my my lining that it wasn't shorter than the lining wasn't shorter, because that's kind of the whole point, is having that shorter lining so that it pulls up that natural curve. I do like that the lining isn't like horrendously short. Well, that was weird. Clipped in the wrong place. Okay. Do yourself a favor and keep a pair of snips or something that you only use for double-sided tape. Here we go. Because if they're not non-stick scissors, they will get gummed up fast. I have a pair that that is almost ruined because I didn't realize that. So I was able to get them clean. My husband figured out a cleaning agent to use. I didn't ask. I just handed them to him. It's like tears in my eyes. I'm like, my scissors. He's like, I'll fix it. I'm like, yay. Oh, okay. Okay, so that's it so far. Yeah, it's a shaker. The fun part is going to be putting on the zipper, by the way. You will see. No, nice. Yeah, usually I've noticed that certain lives run a little bit differently. It also might be my computer, which, by the way, let me check the battery. Oh, that's what are you doing? And that's why just a moment before my laptop dies on me. There we go. That might make it a little bit happier. It looks like it was starting to run out of power. Come on, you. Okay. Sides are always fun and exciting to do. Where am I? Yes, I did cut it. Doggone it. Come on. Now, if you're using all fabric and not worrying about like this or using a vinyl for the outside, A glue stick helps a lot because you can kind of smear it everywhere, and uh, that's what I do with the inside piece. So you always want to start with the very middle piece. Yep, it's this. I might have to do still the two pieces. Yeah. Come on, you. It does help that this isn't technically a raw edged pattern because you're folding in all the edges. Come on, you. Mainly what my challenge is getting the fabric over and then getting the clear vinyl over. And that's what I'm probably going to need. I get real particular about these corners. I think of everything on here, this is probably what takes me the longest because I really want a nice smooth corner. And it is a little bit more difficult with, a layer of clear and a layer of fabric. Let's see. I do. It's also under Chubby Bunny Studios for my Facebook. Somewhere along the way, I just was like, I guess I need to get all the socials. I am so glad I turned on that little heater because, oh God, hang on. I've got stuff 3D printing, and 3D printers do not like to be cold. Can mess up the print. And normally I would just be using the bone folder and the, I think that glue actually really helped. And the screwdriver. It's really easy to get those corners over that way, but this is actually working out pretty nice. So yeah, the only caveat to, come on, little strawberry, you got to move. You can't be there. I don't want to try to sew over you. There we go. Now, I'm sure what could also be done is you could make a little pouch within that you put in there so that it's not going out. I just, didn't think about that till about now. And B, I'm not sure how it would look. Okay, this little watermelon looks like a skull. Oh, I don't know if you can see it. There it is. It looks like a little skull. Let me see. I don't know if y'all can see on YouTube. It looks like a little skull. It's a little creepy. All right, creepy watermelon, get down there. So far, the clay sprinkles I've gotten, the Pokemon ones, were really nice. I got those on Amazon, and these I got at Michael's. Here we go. Okay, stay. I got to figure out how to move that strawberry that's over there. Okay, there we go. Again, that's pretty much been the challenge. The first time I did this was making sure I didn't sew over the sprinkles themselves. Come on. Oh, but I had the house is at 60 right now, so I needed to go kind of push the temperature up a little bit. Aren't you a happy little rice ball? There we go. Well, this is going along much better than the other one did. So definitely glue a little bit of glue stick on your fabric and then press that clear vinyl down. Morning. Oh my gosh, I don't know what brand it is. Inexpensive Amazon. It doesn't have the brand on it. It's just, I put stickers on it because I have a sticker problem. But I do love it. It was, oops, sorry, didn't mean to move y'all. That's okay. Whatever fell is just going to live down there now. I do highly recommend a bobbin winder because it does save on your machine, because it's one less thing that your machine is having to use friction in that for. So it feels like what's working nicely is, and it's how I do all my corners anyways, but I'm just pushing straight down in the middle and then kind of adjusting things elsewhere because of the extra bit of tape that is coming in handy on you. I'm a little worried right now. Ooh, where's the meat tenderizer? There you are. This is my meat tenderizer, so hang on to your ear. Oh, I can do it on the floor. That'll be fine. Always be careful of your fingers. Okay. Yeah, always be careful of your fingers. But what I'm doing is when I'm hitting, I'm not going straight down. I'm actually going at an angle to pull it back. So when I strike, it's kind of at an angle. This way, it's not pushing down, it's pushing in, which is where you want it to go. Every other one looks good except for you. So let's see about fixing that. Okay, I'll leave that a piece of tape. Where are you going to go? You're going to go over here for right now. Stay. Okay, there we go. So that's taken care of. What time is it anyways? I have a clock somewhere. Holy crow, it's already 1:45. Okay. Well, that is probably going to be about where I have to stop for the morning. But I should be able to come back on around 2. That'll be my nails done and my lunch taken care of. But this is pretty much how you do the shaker part of it. Next step will be placing our zipper down and getting that taken care of. And then you get to see the form in action too. I like how it looks. You've got the little bed of them. I'm trying not to like really shake it hard because, again, I'm going to need them. Oh, and this will give me perfect. So what I usually do, apply the zipper. Oh, no. 1/4. Yeah, let's do it. All right. Let's see if I can get the zipper on. Where are you at, zipper? There you are. So let me mark my zipper real quick. And then I got to mark the inside. Like I said, Sue does such an amazing job of writing the construction, and between the written instructions and the Words. Why are words so hard some days? Between the written instructions and her videos, you get really a good sense that she is wanting you to learn how to do this. So that I really enjoy. There's my pen. Okay. Before I forget. Right there. I do my faux stitches both at the same time. I don't think it's okay. Fine, I guess that's where it's gonna go. Oh, well, you were in the way, so I need you not to be in the way. Thank you. Uh, the faux stitches are only for the 1/8 inch, so that it has a full construction around. It bothers me to not have that matching for the for the second line of stitching. So, and that's me. That's how I am. So I do both faux stitches right now. It's just one less thing I have to worry about remembering to do later. She has measurements and markings in the pattern for it. I've just found where it works for me, which in this case is where the stitching is for my top stitching on top of the contrast piece. Go. Okay, and I'll pull my threads to the back. Got nice tweezers that have a good sharp point. You can actually pull both threads at the same time. So you just pull up your bobbin thread, lace your tweezers through both hoops, and just pull out. As long as I can get out of here by quarter after, I should be okay. Normally I come off earlier than this anyways on nail day, because I like to get a little touch of breakfast or more breakfast. I usually get a muffin. This is paper tape. I get mine from U-Haul because that's where my husband works. It is very water resistant. I don't recommend sewing through it too much, but it doesn't do too bad on your needle. I'm pulling my threads taut. I don't worry about tying them off right now. It's the tape is going to do what I need it to do. Yeah. She has a lot of times where you don't backstitch. No backstitching always makes me nervous. Well, hello, random piece of paper. So I generally backstitch. Quote unquote professional bags that are sold in stores, they have backstitching everywhere. So I don't see it being an issue for me. So I'm going to put on the side with these sprinkles first. Otherwise, I will forget that they're there and keep shaking around. All right. So in the instructions, it tells you where to mark. You can use a pen. This is not going to be seen. If you ever are worried about that, if that's ever a concern, then find something that's going to stay long enough for you to sew this on, and then Where are you at? And use that. I mean, I'm just letting you know that if you want to just use a pen, you can use a pen. Okay, so, and then you take your template, which, by the way, I love that she put this. Yes, it does have an oil pan under it. Yes, it is a number 5 zipper. Thank you, La. I'm glad that everybody's wanting to try this pattern. It's such an amazing, like I said, this pattern really brings me joy. Yeah, I have the same one. Yeah, Bo, it's a really good bobbin winder. I definitely enjoy it. Where are you going? Now, what you want to make sure before you mark your corners is that they are where you want them to be, because you can't mark it and then go, oh, I need to push this forward. It will mess up where your line is. But this is the best part of this pattern, that she went, oh, they might want to they might want to not have to measure this nonsense out. I'm going to do this for them. Mainly the line is for zipper placement. With your zipper, you want to make sure that it is marked in the middle. So you've got your centers marked, because it is much longer than you need. In my case, it's even a few inches more. No, I think actually I've got it down to just about where she has you put it. So, okay. A lot of times I will also, once I have this all set up, I'll let it kind of sit for an hour under something heavy. If I batch sew them, then yeah, I just stack them and put a heavy book on it. Is that all of them marked? Yes. Okay. That's done. Put my tool away. On printed zippers, it's also a good idea to mark on the ends like this, so that there it goes. This way you can match up your image properly. I just do it now on all of my zippers because it's just easier. Can't do that yet. Here we go. All right, now I'm going to put some 1/8. You can use a 1/4 inch. There's nothing wrong with that. I just have 1/8, so I use it. Oop. I'm going to go around that curve. So you're lining these, if you're using 1/8, you're lining up your edge to the edge of the line, so that it's closest to the outside of it. I'll show you in a second. Get the other one done real quick. So these edges are already starting to fight, and it's going to do that because it's 2 layers. I probably could go back over it after I clip them and baste them again. It just kind of seems a little extra. But sometimes extra is needed. Come on. There we go. Come on. Go where I want you to go, please, tape. Okay. If you're doing 1/4 inch, then you want the middle of the tape going over that line. But see, there you go. So the line is right here. Okay. Oh, thank you, Sherry. I got a bear. Oh, thank you so much for answering that for me, Sherry. They're like, shh, stop distracting her. We want to see the zipper. We want the zipper. Okay, so I'm going to be sewing it this way. So I need first them over there. Come on. Okay, so I'm going to show it who's boss a little bit. And then I'm going to put my hand and kind of clench and then push it over this way. So hopefully, it's kind of hard to do this one-handed. Oh, here we go. Come on. Kiwis. I still got that one strawberry in the way. I'm just going to sew over your butt. You have made your choices, strawberry. There we go. That's working better. Okay. So carefully turn it back over. Like I said, anytime you add something like shaker to anything, it's going to give you a little bit more of a challenge. And after doing one, I realized that challenge is very worthwhile. All right. So I'm lining up my center. And I'm putting it right against that line where the tape is. So the way I do my zipper here is I put it right against, kind of like right up to that, where that curve is going to start. And then I pull it over, and I actually pull it pretty tight. And the reason I do that, is that I want there to be as little zipper tape around that curve as possible. It's going to make it much easier, there we go, to do the curve. Do the roll. Okay. Come on, you. So you want to make sure you're lining it up pretty evenly. And that's where definitely using the screwdriver comes in the case, because it helps with a little bit of an edge. So I have my curve. I'm going to pull this down just a little bit more. And then I'm going to take the middle and push that in to the line. So then what you have is little cat ears. Then you're going to take your cat ears and go into the middle of that line, and then just kind of keep pushing around until you don't really have any big bumps. You're probably going to have some little bumps. Little bumps are okay. Little bumps are no problem. Those little bumps, they'll be fine. It's the big bumps that really show up. And make sure you're not going past your line. That's why it's so important to make sure that you have the corners where you want them to be. Okay. And see, there's a couple little ripples. When you fold it over, you're not going to see those ripples when it's sewn down because it'll stretch it. And that's a good way to check it too. If you're gentle when you pull that, it should be fine. Okay, so let me put my screwdriver down. Again, we're going to pull tight and then lock in the bottom and then start lining up. Sometimes putting a clip down here also means that it's not going to move. When you put the lining in, definitely use clips because you can kind of yank that zipper a little bit. Yes, everything's being held in by, started to do this one without thinking, is being held in with double-sided tape. I use the 1/8 inch because it's just a little bit easier to work with right here. So again, you want to tug down. I found that if I don't tug it down a little bit, let me see, there it goes. Then I go over the line, and you don't want to go over the line because then your zipper isn't even. So cat ears. And then we just kind of start maneuvering. Sometimes you got to kind of push it back in a little bit into the straight form of the top. That's why you kind of work in little groups. A bone folder is a good idea for this, but I really do love using the screwdriver because it has a little bit of a sharp point. So it means it can grab it and, make it go where I want it to go. All right. Okay, let's see how well this goes. All right, so I am going to sew it 1/8. I'm going to start in that first hole of my faux stitching. Come on. There we go. All right. I'm going to lock in my stitch with one back stitch. That'll be plenty. I use my nails too to kind of get into it and pull the zipper away gently at the corner. Little strawberry, this is your last chance to get out of the way. Brat. Oh, where are you going? Move some stuff around. Okay, that's better. I got the strawberry to move. Looks like we might have an apple denting. You want to always be a little bit careful too with your clay sprinkles. They are clay. They're usually very good clay, so they don't always break. But there is a chance they're going to break. I need stuff to be out in the way. I've got a really good top stitch going here, and stuff keeps kind of like stalling it. There we go. It runs into it. Go nice and slow around that curve. You got all the time that you want to spend on this. If after this you're like, okay, I need a break, take a drink, take a walk, go to the bathroom. Okay, and then I lock in that last stitch as well. Let's see how it goes. And I do end up pulling the threads back even though I locked it in, mainly so that I can do an extra bit of security. That's another thing I like about this paper tape is it's easy to peel up, but it doesn't come up easy. Like it won't just unpeel on its own. All right, so ta-da! Boop. Mainly, I'm also looking at how much of the tape actually pops out. Like I can definitely tell on this side, I pushed a little past that line. But that's only because I've done quite a few of these. But it's not enough. I think it will bother anybody. And when I say anybody, I mean me. Because I see this stuff and I go, So for the second side, take your zipper tape back and clip it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely don't put too many in because this already shakes so much. Oh, well, I'm so glad. I mean, that's definitely what I'm hoping to do. I'm hoping to teach something, even if it's that Charlie's a bit of a jerk sometimes. He's outside, so he's happy as a clam. Even though it's cold outside, he loves being outside. Such a weird little kitty cat when it comes to that. Like, Tiamat's just happy he's outside because he leaves her the crap alone. I do highly also recommend, as you can see, the markings. That isn't just for marking to put it on here. It's also to mark and make sure that when I put my insides in, that it's going to actually stick. All right, so I'm lining up that top straight line on top, on the top of it. I feel like I'm saying top a lot. Okay, once again, coming around here, pulling tight. Sweet like a tiger. I watch a lot of movies and listen to a lot of music, so there will always be like random quotes and stuff. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and do. Normally, what I do is I position both. So that once I get those curves done, I can just kind of get to it. It's the stepping. There we go. Here we are. Again, you want to pull your curve down. Where did my there? We're gonna push in that middle, not past your line. You want to go right to it, but not over it. Get our little kitty ears in. So see, and now I have mini kitty ears in the one kitty ear. So they're kitten ears. So you go from cat ears to kitten ears, and then you just kind of get everything to lay down nicely. Now I've made quite a few of these. It's kind of what I do. I will just go through and make a bunch. So as you can see right here, there's a weird kind of lump going on. That's where having the screwdriver really comes in handy, because you can take the point of it and go under and kind of pull that up all the way and then replace it down so that it fits the way you want it to. These corners are going to be the most noticeable thing on your wallet. This is where you want to spend time, is the placement of how you wrap your stabilizer. Actually, 3 tips on corners. Make sure your stabilizer is cut properly. Make sure you're wrapping that stabilizer well and that you take your time with it and that you're happy with that. And then that you take your time pushing down your zipper. Sometimes if it looks like it might want to pop up because it's just not playing fun with the double-sided tape, I will put clips. Where are you at? And sometimes it's hard to see the blue line. I think that's what happened with my other corner. Come on, man. Don't be afraid to pull this back up and redo it. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm a trained pastry chef. The first thing I do before I put a cake in anything in the oven is I taste the batter. It's why I don't, it's one of the biggest reasons why anytime there's like somebody on a competition that they're like, oh, I used the wrong thing. Like, well, why didn't you taste it? A teaspoon of raw batter is not going to be the death of you, unless there's poison or something in it. But tasting it is the best way to know that it's what you want it to be. Just like with this, if you're not sure, just pop it out. So I like how that corner looks. And I do like how that one looks. It just needs to be pushed down a little bit. See, and this is where it's not kind of sticking the way I want it to. So I'm going to put some clips kind of behind the zipper as much as I can. There we go. I'm not afraid to use clips. Oh, I love the simplistic slang, but I love anything by Aurora Rosa. Also, I do take the unsewn zipper and I pull it back behind the other zipper. Where are you going? That way it's not flopping around all over the place. All right. You know, I was concerned about how pink this thread is, but I really like how it's kind of a nice little pop here and there. Where are you at? There you are, right here. Yeah, this little back stitch is in a place where you're not really going to be able to see it. Unless you're like me and you can't help yourself, you always look at the construction of something. Then that's the only reason somebody would really see it, is because they were looking for it. Which, no judgment. If you're a bag maker or creator and you come by my booth and you're like, oh, how, you know, you're looking over it, as long as you don't come up to me all judgy and stuff saying like, oh, your bags are kind of okay. Okay, well, you can kind of get out then, because I know how well my bags are. I have my high standards, and if they're not the same as yours, that's on you. That's a you problem, not a me problem. But if you're like, oh my gosh, I had to really look for that back stitch, I'd be like, right? Then there won't be any judgment, because you're not judging. You're taking a moment to compliment, and I think that's how we should always do it. Because I can't wait to do Dragon Con, because I get to see my con mom, one of my fellow makers, and I get to see a lot of like really amazing people make stuff. And oh, it's gonna get under both tapes. Nice. Like, you can honestly clip these, you can tie them, you can burn them. I did the back stitch. I'm just pulling the thread back so that I can put it underneath the tape. There's tape on here, I might as well use it. Come on, you. Oh God, I'm afraid that's what time it is. 10:13. I thought that said 10:30. I would be like, oh, shoot. All right. Now, real quick, I'm going to put my zipper pull on and get it shaping so that y'all can see that, and I can get a little bit of a satisfaction. So I need my zipper jig. Doesn't matter which zipper I use, because it's going to get pulled off anyways. And I'm going to use one of the forming blocks, which if you ordered a forming block, they are going to start shipping. I'm going to start packing up some of them today. The machine and I had a disagreement. Oh, thank you, y'all. Where is it located? Dragon Con is in Atlanta, Georgia. Labor Day weekend. So what you do with the forming block is you just put it right in the middle and start to curl it around, and you use it to press out a beautiful bottom curve. And then what I do is I take that back out. Yeah, I like this really pale, light peachy pink. I think there's so many bright colors going on. Okay, so we're going to put that on. I push my zipper together this way, and then I turn the wallet this way. Watch it fight me. And then match up my little points. That is not matching up the points. Way off. Liz, what are you doing? Zipper jig, help me here. There we go. So I start to zip it up. Take those clips off. I take the forming block. I do sell the blocks through Fat Rabbit Supplies. And then you just zip it up. And just kind of position it. And what I do is then I use, again, that bottom. And what this is going to do is this is going to help you immensely. Oh, thank you, Dee. They're changing today, actually. in about 5 minutes. But there we go. Zipper installation. And see, I know, and of course you know, that right there, that zipper is not the same as the other side, but it's so slight that it's not going to be too bad, I think. I don't think it's pulling in too bad. Right. And then they shake. They'll shake a little bit more too once I don't have the form in there. But the best part about this is that it will shape it while you're working on the inside. So when you go to pop this out of the ball, out of the shape that it's in now, it'll already have that nice curve, and it's going to be a lot easier. So we've got our exterior done. Excuse me, hiccups. And sadly, I have to go because my nails are calling. But I hope everybody had a good time. The block is 3D printed. My husband actually designed. Somebody sent us a file, and I didn't like the sharpness of the corners. It felt like it was pushing out the zipper, and I don't want to strain that zipper. Yes, I will have another pre-order for the blocks opening up. If you go to Fat Rabbit Supplies, I need to see if there's a way to put the notify on there. I'm learning how to code here, folks, because I love y'all that much. Because I also sell them so that you can get your name on them. But if you go to Fat Rabbit Supplies on Facebook and join the group, I will announce there. And if you're in So Whatever, wherever you found me, I'll make sure to put up a pre-order open. It makes it so that my anxiety's not out the window, because when we did the Ghost Bowls, they sold out like 50 of them. And I was like, ooh, great. And we'll have, I do have the little, I'm going to do tiny spirit bowls. But I do have a larger size that holds clips nicely. Yes, if you put in the notes that you don't want rainbow, that you want like a blue or that, I can definitely get that in. Yes, if you have your own 3D printer, I do have the the file set up, and stream over here. I do have the files set up to print. There we go.